Today I want to talk about Toten, and what I thought would be an interesting idea to do today is talk about things that I think Toten needs, or if we're being honest, things that I want Toten to have inside of it when it actually launches later this month. And yeah, that's what we're talking about here today. Now, how I decided to be the best way to discuss this is to not go over things that I personally trust Treyarch to, do well. Like, I think Treyarch is really good at making a good layout of the map, the whole, I don't need to mention, like, make sure the map is really cool, make sure there's a training spot or something like that. Like, there's things that I generally trust Treyarch with that I'm not going to talk about that maybe would seem kind of obvious to mention, but I'm not going to do that. And instead, I decided to mention three major things that I think that Toten needs, in my personal opinion, to really make this into something that is actually special. Because currently, right now, I don't feel like Cold War Zombies is special. It's good, but not special. And I just think that we just need these last two maps to really make this game special, and they both have to be very good, and it has to start with Toten. But of course, I'll also mention two smaller things that are a couple of smaller things that I think that it should also have inside this, inside Toten, that I think would make the experience much better. But with all of that said, I think it's about time to get into this. So two quick small things I want to mention before we get into the three major thing is that one, the perk we get better be double tap. Like, we know we're going to get a new perk with Toten, they already confirmed that, but if they come out and it's effing Mule Kick, if it's Mule Kick, we rage, dude. We going to be protesting around the Treyarch building, dude. If they bring us Mule Kick, I can't even imagine, dude. Mule Kick instead of double, I'm done. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be double tap because, the fact that they did buff the zombies' health and all of that. But if they don't, dude, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. That would be the biggest troll ever, dude. That'd be reasons to riot right there. That would justify a riot. But anyways, though, another small thing is I would appreciate if we finally got an intro to our maps. I mean, we just forgot that those existed, I guess. Like, there was just a universal forgetfulness, if that's a word, forgetfulness of that we used to have intros for every map, and we just haven't had a single one thus far. So I'd like to see an intro. That would be kind of cool, but not necessary to say the least. But anyways, now I think it's actually time to get into what I believe to be are the three big things in order to make Toten a successful map.
That's what I call shock and awe.
So the first one is actually quite simple, because all I want from this is to have a cool and powerful, or maybe even OP wonder weapon, because it just hasn't really felt like we had a very, cool wonder weapon up until this point. Not to say the wonder weapons we've got, are bad. Like the Ray K, it's a really powerful wonder weapon, but it's kind of a pain to use, and because of that, it kind of like falls down the list for me as not being that great. And on top of that, it is just a ray gun Mark IV. Not to say that that's bad. We love our ray guns, we love that stuff, but I mean, it's not like, super cool looking, to say the very least. I mean, I defended the Ray K, don't get me wrong, but it is just a ray gun that's in the shape of AK-47. So that's kind of a thing. It doesn't look very cool. I mean, what I'm really looking for here is, like, just think about even not only Black Ops 3 but even Black Ops 4 wonder weapons. You think about the aesthetic look of them, they just look so cool, and you compare that to what we've got thus far. You have the Shockwave and the Ray K, and those just, like, they don't look very cool. They're not very cool. Their shots aren't very cool. I mean, I'll give, I guess, the standard Shockwave does have a pretty cool looking shot, but that's kind of weak, so what does it matter in the end? So I just think that we need a really cool looking wonder weapon, something like the bows, or even the forget what the wonder weapon from Zetsu no Shiba is called, that too, or even the Apothecary Servant. Just think about how cool wonder weapons used to look. and I just want something like that again because they kind of look dull in this game, and I just kind of don't like that. And also, it just can't look good. That's why I also said it has to be very powerful or even OP. You know, I just want a powerful, cool wonder weapon again. It's just been so long. Probably the last one has been like Alistair's Annihilator has been the last, you know, cool looking and also, you know, just a powerful wonder weapon.
Go. Find the launch keys. I will prep the missiles.
The second thing I think Mauer Toten definitely needs is to finally take that next step in terms of storyline, because I'm gonna be honest, this story has been interesting to follow, but that's kind of it. Like, it's a story that feels like it has just potential and nothing else. That's what this story feels like to me this entire time. Like, it has some really cool concepts. Obviously, everything we hear from the Dark Ether, the potential Eddie, and everything going on with Samantha, like, there's so much potential there, but it feels like we just haven't met that, and I just don't know if we will in this. But I do have faith for this next map because Craig Houston, the lead writer of all this, has been hyping up Mauer Toten's story for a long time now. He's been saying that this is the point we've all been waiting for this story. Like, this is where the story is going to be crazy and like super interesting going forward. And I hope that's the case because right now, as I said earlier, it just feels like this story is nothing but potential. It's just potential and nothing else. And that's kind of not exactly where you want to be. I mean, sure, early on, which I guess we kind of still are, it's okay. But there has to be that point where we finally take that next step with this story. And I just hope it happens sooner rather than later, because if we go a full game of a game that just has story as potential, I mean, it's kind of going to hurt the story going forward, because not that many people are going to be too excited for something that is just, oh, it has a ton of potential and that's it. And honestly, I don't know if this is something that could be reached in, I guess, the current state of Cold War, because one of the main reasons that I personally think that the story has been held back thus far in Cold War is because of the fact we do play as operators and not a set crew. And you know, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that Craig Houston is right and they'll find a way to make the story crazy cool even without playable characters. But I have my doubts, but I also still have some faith in it. So I'm kind of at this weird place for it, but nonetheless, I feel like regardless of the situation, Mauer Toten needs to be this turning point for the story.
Be ready for anything, team. We've never successfully explored the phase.
But for the final thing, and what I think is the most important thing out of everything we've talked about here today, is the Easter egg. Because I'm gonna be honest, enough is enough with these style of Easter eggs, because we've had 4 Easter eggs thus far, and 3 of them have been casual Easter eggs. The second Outbreak Easter egg is a casual Easter egg. It's pretty easy in comparison to previous Easter eggs from the past. Same thing with Firebase C, same thing with D Machina. They're all casual Easter eggs. And I just think enough is enough. We have 3 of them. We only have like one BO3 style Easter egg, that being the first Outbreak main Easter egg, and I just feel like we just need more of those for the hardcore audience. And I know less people will play it, obviously, but I feel like you have to try to appeal to both sides of the audience. And if you already have 3 casual Easter eggs, I think it's fine to have 3 hardcore Easter eggs, that being of course you know, the first Outbreak one, this one, and DLC 4. I think that is just something we just kind of have to do at this point, because it feels like I really haven't enjoyed any of these Easter eggs as much as that first Outbreak one. And if this one is another one of those just casual Easter eggs that I can play a handful of times, then I feel like that's just going to hurt this game as a whole, because it's just not appealing to the people who play this game every single day, the ones who are grinding for Dark Ether, the ones that are playing this game grinding for whatever it may be, even if it's not Dark Ether, just playing for fun every single day or pretty often. Like, I feel like it's just something that it feels like in this game that we currently don't have anything for the hardcore audience to do besides doing Dark Ether. I feel like that's literally the only thing. Like, you literally saw me struggle to try to think about, wait, what else do I do as a hardcore player besides like grind for Dark Ether? And that's kind of it. Like, that's the only thing. That and the Outbreak's first main Easter egg. And because of that, I just feel like at this point that we've already had 3 casual main Easter eggs, that it's about time we just got some more, you know, Easter eggs that appealed to the hardcore players. And I just think that we should end off our last 2 maps with those. But that's about it for this video. I'd love to hear what you guys think about everything I've had to say here today. Do you guys agree with everything that I said? Disagree? Want to add some stuff that I missed out here that you think that Mauer de Toten definitely needs to do in order to succeed? I'd love to hear all those thoughts and opinions down in the comment section. But regardless, that's going to wrap it up for me. If you guys did enjoy this video, definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys next stream, video, or whatever the heck it may be. And laters, guys.